Finally, some bishops who has not been bought by the present government met Tinubu in Aso Rock to dialogue with him. Let's take a look at the video.
How did I see the face of
the president in reaction?
I was not surprised that he was not looking very happy. Not even his colleagues who were there. We knew that this is different from the kind of statements that our president keeps receiving from all kinds of people. And that is one of the things that worries us, that there are so many people hanging around Mr. President, giving him a rosy picture of what the country is, which it is not. And we felt that we have no duty to do that. Indeed, we have the obligation to help him to appreciate the reality of the situation in which we find ourselves. And that is the reality that we painted, which I know is not the kind of thing that he wanted to hear. And the reply shows very clear.
I'm concerned that your cross is going over your mic.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, and you can see his reply. We left that hall, both sides, knowing that, well, we said what we had to say. He said what he had to say.
So was it a frosty meeting then? Would you describe it as fairly frosty? Because, I mean, many Nigerians have become accustomed to polite meetings between religious leaders and political leaders.
When the nation is bleeding, you can't expect a polite meeting with the head of state. We need to let him know. And his reply is that the nation is not bleeding. We told him our economy is not helping our poor people. He told us the economy is doing fine. Practically speaking, he told us quite clearly that he did not agree with us. Again, I said, we're not surprised. We didn't expect him to agree with us. We have done our duty. We have delivered our message. And we have a feeling that somehow along the line, somebody will show him a few of the things we said.
I'm very curious, when the bishop who was your spokesperson.
That's the president of our Bishops' Conference, the new president, Bishop Dagoso.
Yeah, when he was reading that statement, which was a fairly sort of robust and critical statement, I mean, what was the reaction on the president's face? Was he rolling his eyes and sort of looking every which way, or was he listening attentively?
Both.
Right.
Both. Let me say first and foremost that statement read by our president was not just put together at random. It was carefully prepared and with wide consultation. The Bishops' Conference is bigger than the group of us that went there, but it's very representative of the Bishops' Conference. First, we had our administrative board, which is representative of, and to make sure that it's even more representative, we ensure that every archbishop, we are 9 archbishops, will be there too. So it is the Catholic Bishops' Conference that produced that document.
Right.
Wrote and rewrote. So it was not done. It was not written at random, nor did we deliver it with levity. Levity. I think I had an opportunity in your program to remind Nigerians that as bishops, we have no ambitions to take Mr. Tinubu's job or anybody else's job. We are not politicians running for office. We are first and foremost religious leaders who feel we have a duty, not just to preach our religious doctrines, but also to address the lives of our people, both those who are our members and those who are not our members. You can see that from the content and the tone of our statement. So you asked me, how did I see the face of
the president in reaction?
I was not surprised that he was not looking very happy. Not even his colleagues who were there. We knew that this is different from the kind of statements that our president keeps receiving from all kinds of people.
right. See, even if they say our husbands cannot vote because they cannot oppose the present government, that is the law. We, the military wives, we are plenty, and we don't have service number, and we are civilians, and this is democracy. We have every right to vote. We are coming out in full force 2027. Military wife, we they come out in full force. Don't get it twisted. We are not voting this man up here. We know they vote this man up here. We know they vote and nothing will happen. We're gonna tag him. Tag President Bola Tinubu. Say military wife say we they come out in full force 2027. We not go use hungry. We not go use suffer. We not go use pains. They vote you. It not go happen. You cannot tell me that IPPI has dropped and no one is attached to it. You not increase your salary. Even as your spokesman, retired Musa, they talk say you don't increase money from 49 to 100. Stay yet they pay the salary as little as that 100. We no see them. Una make us understand say na audio government today. Una they make us understand say na scam today. We are not voting you, Baba. We are not voting you. Nothing you go to.
See the second video when he dropped this night.
Table Minister of Defense. Oga sir, I say make I come follow you talk because I see say now you they help Tinubu they campaign this salary matter online. And this salary matter where they campaign online with what we see. Now for social media another salary and not the enter account. So we say we can't tell you. Enough is enough. They're not the deceive Ashawo fuck 2 times. The deceive and the deceive us is not too much. We say we self cry, make government here. Oga go back to Bola Tinubu, go tell and say we the military wife say we know they vote at 2027. Yes, the Egyptian we see today we shall see him no more. Now what our Bible tell us. We know they vote him again because we not fit continue to the suffer. And for those coming to come, they can't ask me say, madam, how many military wife be waiting say if you don't vote Tinubu? Yes, our vote counts. Yes. Our children did there, military children did there, wives did there. You want to calculate wife all over Nigeria for the 3 armed forces, Army, Navy, and Air Force. You want to calculate our children. You want to calculate retired personnel. You don't say they increase serving personnel salary. You don't say go affect retired. So retired join us. Their children join. Their wives join. People that retire 50 years ago, we survive. They're still alive. You don't say they join. You they tell me how many will be. It go shock you. It go shock you now. Our vote counts, and we are not coming out. We are not coming out, sir. Yes, because the average soldier, an average soldier wife, tell me, open the mouth, tell me, say now once in a month in the shop meat. Now once in a month in the shop meat, I need protein for food. Now once in a month, and that is only when they pay salary. Some of them tell me say they don't even they see money to buy ingredient cook for other food. The only food that they shop now beans. They still tell me say sometimes when they pay some young soldiers because they don't manage now Indomie, they go gather Indomie for us because Indomie don't need protein, it don't need too much spices. Now Indomie they go to shop. I say make I ask you, Minister of Defense, if person when they shop Indomie, if he gets strength, we stand bandits. I say make I come body we stand bandits. I say make I come ask you, Minister, because now you they help Baba the campaign so enough you work out again. Oh. Enough you work at we our children retired and their children and their wives. We don't talk and say 2027 we not dey fall out for anybody. We not dey fall out for anybody because as it stand for yes, so we not get us at heart. Our husbands they love the country. That is why they stand to say they will pay the price for the country. But the country where they love not love us. The country not love us. That is why people are not taking care of we and our children. We are not even talking about our dead personnel. So we dey talk the ones where we say we separate their life. We are not enjoying anything. When the president wife come outside, Mrs. Tinubu, say he go empower Nigerian women with agbado, with money to do business, agbado or akara. You see when he includes soldier wife for there, as today your soldier wife, we don't see anybody will bring money for empowerment for us. Even if that the agbado self, because many soldier wives they bad, they have nothing doing. Where they see the money, where they see money start small scale business. Not when you shop before you go to make to start something. We are Tinubu, Mrs. Tinubu no help us. He don't put us on a budget. I say make I tell you, Minister of Defense, we are not gaining anything as a soldier wife. Even for the citizens where we serve with our husbands, they lay their life for, they die for. How many celebrities you don't see where come outside, they enter carry like 3 soldiers wife, bless them with car. But they bless people with car online. They see then they buy house, they give civilian women so they don't say our life had them. But they see us say we know what's for them to do good for us. So like this for this country, don't make us understand. Say soldier wives and soldier children, they don't belong to Nigeria. So like this, Ogasa, I say make we can't cry for you. Enough is enough. Audio increments don't tire us. Every month we go put eye with the weight saying at this month. Another month we go wait for small change. When the price of everything for Nigeria don't inflate. I don't understand how you want me to continue our life for. So that they serve Nigeria, children they hungry. So that they cry for the nation, and hungry they cry your family. I don't understand. Ogasa, help me tell President Bola Tinubu. As we plenty rich, for those who say we know plenty, I don't name them for you. Our children plenty. The 3 armed forces, Army, Navy, and Air Force, retired since beginning and day till present retirees. Then they start for our back. Because if president do us well, serving personnel, themselves to go stay enjoy. So as it stand like this, we put heads together. 2027, Baba, we sit down for instance. If we are not coming out to vote you, and if we are coming out at all, we are voting our choice. If we are coming out at all, we are voting our choice and nothing will happen. I tag you for my first video, President Bola Tinubu. I tag your pikin Tinubu. This is my video now. I go tag you, I go tag your pikin, I go tag your wife. Enough is enough. Now human being will be. How can we be eating protein? An average soldier will be eating protein once in a month. That is the day when they pay salary, I go shop meat. What will happen? Indomie when they pay salary, go. You just say they are people to the shop, so Indomie. What is it? And those citizens when they come outside, they talk say it's good for them. It's good for them. Then they suffer soldier. Now you go still suffer them. Nigerian citizens. You when they find standard security, you not go see them. As far as they are not taking care of these soldiers, so you will not see standard security. So that is to say your own life is at risk. Play and gamble with your life online. Come here, come talk nonsense on my comment section. We'll go guide you. If you know they're strong, you know they're heady, go fit carry gun. One another reason. When I think that's the cry, so now for our own betterment. It affects you people too. You civilians, it affects you because a soldier must be up and doing and be okay before he can give you standard security. If you don't know, go play for shit. If una no go play for shit, you are coming here to come and talk nonsense. Instead of you go enable, join with us to encourage the government to improve the welfare of soldiers so that you can be secured, your life and properties can be secured properly. You will be mumu. Oga, Minister of Defense, with all due respect, sir, I the soldier wife, we the soldier wife, all of us the soldier wife, we say make we tell you. If there's nothing make us happy, we say I'm not gonna make the government happy, we will not make people proud. We are not. Yes, this kind of thing not too much. You talk, you die. If you don't talk, you die. Let's talk and buy. What is it? Somebody will work from Monday to Sunday, cannot eat good food. We are not even talking about clothing. We are not even talking about anything. We are not even talking about good accommodation. We are talking of food. Food don't go put for matter as cheap as food. It's a problem. It's a problem. Yes, somebody will come and tell me, madam, go and work. Do I look hungry? Look at me because I dey struggle. Yes, I dey struggle to chop. Let me say I dey struggle to make my life better. I do things for a living. I manage for a living, which is not supposed to be so. I'm not supposed to carry oga responsibility join my own. When oga dey work, when oga go come out for months, I no go see oga. Oga dey somewhere, they tell me saying the hustle. At the end of the month, I'm missing the pay bill. What are you not telling me? I have the right to shout. My husband cannot leave home. We not see husband. We not see him close to us. We not see enjoyment. We not see money. What's it happen? Nigerian government. No, it gas end though. It gas end. Notice our vote no count, Baba. It counts. This nonsense must stop. It must stop. We cannot take it again. Enough of audio. Audio don't type.
The man who is running now for APC does not even know half of what Buhari knows about government or national security. If you have the time, I will tell you more about what they are campaigning with as an agenda or as a rhetoric that he did well in Lagos. I will tell you between 1999 to 2007, if you take out context, he actually performed worse than some governors in Nigeria because the Lagos that they say he improved the revenue, he only collected tax. All the infrastructure needed for a state or in fact a country to develop was on ground. Lagos used to be the Nigerian national capital. Before Nigeria was formed, Lagos was a colony. You have all the infrastructure for economic development. As what you didn't establish them. There was seaport, there was airport, you have commercial activity, all the embassies are there. So transaction with foreign envoys is in Lagos. All the hotels are there, headquartered in Lagos. All the banks are headquartered in Lagos. All security apparatus, every facility and infrastructure for economic development was in Lagos. He didn't bring them. As what you did not invite or introduce domestic investor. And these revenues we are talking about that they claim he has generated, we are on. It's just that the government didn't have the infrastructure in collecting those. To collect tax. That's what they claim by revenue. And even then, the reason he did that was because he was collecting the tax. The company is allegedly traceable to him. So if you pick a man on the street and you tell him, I want you to collect tax in a given area, your percentage is 30%, he will be optimal. He will be highly effective. This is the summary. But let me tell you what he did in Lagos. One, he attempted to destroy democracy. He wanted to introduce what we call monarchical democracy, a democracy that is not reflected by the will and wishes of the people, but reflected by the choice of a man, and people should run around it. He introduced the concept in politics in Nigeria that we call take the queue, follow the queue. He was the only governor in Nigeria that during the period of 7 years, he has had to impeach his deputy governors 3 times and change them. He's the only politician in Nigeria that nobody wins under his tutelage unless the person is chained or positioned by him. You don't win by the popularity that you carry or because you have idea, but whether he has approved you. That is one. 2, the House of Assembly in Lagos throughout his period never had the independence. This is the man you say he promotes democracy. Never had the independence. In fact, when allegedly the drug conviction in Chicago was alleged, to have, happened, and then Ganifa was all over the place that he should be checked, he should be probed, he should be prosecuted. The House of Assembly sat down. They had no business doing that. They said they cleared him. That they did a finding and declared it on what premise? The same Festus Keyamo, who is the spokesman now, went to court around the time to challenge the decision of the House of Assembly. Do I now detour to tell you about Festus Keyamo and Lalong? I was in APC when I was canvassing for vote for Asiwaju. Lalong was doing Amechi, Festus Keyamo was doing Amechi. All the negative narrative that is built in the air against Asiwaju were pushed by Festus Keyamo. They don't believe in Asiwaju. They are just there on contract. Festus Keyamo was the one that peddled the idea that Asiwaju had Pakistan. Festus Keyamo was the one that peddled the idea that Asiwaju had baggages. The worst about Festus Keyamo was that he was even oscillating like a pendulum between the vice president and what do you call him, and Amechi. Suddenly, Festus Keyamo has come to talk about Asiwaju he didn't believe. The greatest mistake Asiwaju has made in constituting his campaign structure was to choose the people that did not and still don't believe in him. That is the tale of their presidential candidate.
Well, they also say that Atiku Abubakar also has baggages.
Like, I wish you can mention that, or I can help you to mention what they've been peddling, which we have debunked that. They said he's corrupt. What's the yardstick for measuring a corrupt person? In Nigerian law, indictment and conviction by a competent court. Joe investigated Atiku more than any other person in the history of Nigeria. Ribadu at the time was all over the map, fetching evidence. Till Obasanjo left government, till successive government took over, until this present time, Atiku has never been invited by the EFCC. So it's a perception held by one man, but let's not trust it to him. When did Obasanjo begin the campaign that Atiku was corrupt? When Atiku foiled the plan for a third time. So we have to look at context. Atiku does not have, but in contrast, Asiwaju has been investigated by EFCC, ICPC, the United States government. So even on the evidence of what they peddle, they don't have anything to say. They came to the issue of Atiku does not have executive power. That's a very important thing. That the governors are more experienced than him. I look at him and I laugh. Why? Because when Atiku was vice president and chairman of the economic committee or economic council, these governors come to him to take notes. Asiwaju came, take notes. He took notes. Peter Obi came, took notes. But let me even escalate the argument further. Gani Faweyemi wrote an article titled Obasanjo the Absentee President. And in Gani's finding, which is a finding that he personally did because he took Obasanjo to court at the time, he came up with this finding that Obasanjo traveled in the first 3 years of the first term 93 times. And for these 93 times, he was away from Nigeria for 240 days. If you multiply 240 days by 30 days, that makes up a month, you have 8 months. For this period, he's been away for 8 months. Atiku Abubakar governed Nigeria as the commander-in-chief, because as an acting president, you're commander. Then they made an argument that, no, there was never a transmission of letters, so he was not acting president. Obasanjo in 2019 said, that's balderdash. I didn't consider it necessary to designate him as an acting president because my understanding is that once the president is out, the vice president takes the full reins of power. And then look at what Atiku did during this period. These were the period that we introduced policies that opened up our Nigerian economy. Telecom was one. We established critical institutions of government that have now come to become the baseline for the growth and development of a free society.
And you believe that that can still continue from 2023?
He will do better. Imagine Atiku Abubakar at this stage that he didn't need to go to school, had to go to Anglia Ruskin University, an offshoot of Cambridge, to freshen up his mind and obtain a master's degree. The man is ready. When I was about joining him, I was invited to a meeting where experts were brought from abroad to teach his media team on media concept and how to run a campaign. Atiku believes that government should be run like a private enterprise. And let me give you what he meant by private enterprise. To look at it from the point of view of efficiency and effectiveness. The reason why you don't see strike in private universities, you see in public universities, is that in private universities, the people are paid their dues and there is a demand for them to produce, and if they don't, they are going to be fired. In public institutions, nepotism comes, tribalism comes, favoritism comes, the government is lagging behind like this, also not paying them and everything. So efficiency is not there. Atiku believes government should be. Why should a bank be more effective than a country? The banks are more effective posting profit than a country. As it stands, Nigeria today is worse than a man owning a shop in somewhere in Day. Because even the man owning a shop in Day posts a profit. He will tell you the profit margin is small. Nigeria is in debt. 27.7 trillion we are going to pay. They're even thinking about collecting more debt. They have resorted to taxing private citizens. Now I just heard yesterday that in Lagos or one other state they introduced, even parking a car wrongly in your house, you pay tax. Thinking of every conceivable way of extorting money.
And that will change with the PDP.
We have to change and do the right thing. I'll give you an example. I travel a lot. You go to England, you do not need to do a COVID test. Whether you go in or you go out, all the countries of the world are opening up the economy. Because these COVID measures were put in place, those COVID measures put in place affected economies. So when they quickly realized that this COVID has come to stay with us forever, we might as well open up our economy. Do you know in Nigeria, if you are not vaccinated, you will pay for day 2 test and day 7 test, about 70-something thousand, private citizen. You travel not on the government money. They still have to tax you. They don't even do a follow-up to know whether you actually took the test. The fact that you bring the money. We even ask the question further, where is the money going to? It comes down to the issue of there is nobody to call them to account, because if the National Assembly call, they will bluff them, call their bluff and go. So any government that does not post a profit, that government is a failure. I say that with every sense of responsibility.
Stolen subsidy money, mismanaged budgets, it's about to stay alive. Tinubu has to go. That's the only extent to which we discuss the subject. That if a government is failing you, you have to relieve that government. Even members of the APC agree with us now that this idea of one-man rule, which was disguised as one-party rule, and they were joining him, they've discovered now that it's one-man rule, and this one man is grossly incompetent, is distracted, is tired, but he doesn't know how to stop because he sees government as a business. But what is important is to ensure that Nigerians don't assume that 2027 is about the political career of individuals. It's about the survival of the country. And if Nigeria survives, then the black race has hope that at least there will be one black country that is functioning in this.
Was born. There was hunger in Nigeria. Let's take a look.
Yes, the liability of my predecessor. I so did. and I've been running with it. But this government has stabilized. Yes, before I was born, there was hunger in this country. And I have no control of the population development of Nigeria, trajectory. And that is why you have membership in your various faiths and churches, to give hope to people and give commitment to humanity and the true sense of it.
All right, Ayo, Nigerians are divided. Some agreeing that hunger and population growth are structural challenges no president can fix overnight. Others pointing out that fuel subsidy removal and naira devaluation have significantly worsened food costs under this administration. And I'll take some reactions on X before I come to you. Bruno wrote, inheriting past challenges is literally part of the job description of a president. Is there actually any government that succeeds without assets and liabilities? We need real solutions instead of endless reminders of the previous administration's mess by the president. Another ex-user, Legal, wrote, he made a quite striking comment about having no control of the population development trajectory of Nigeria. Asiwaju, conduct a census to know how many people are in the country, then plan accordingly. Why plan accordingly? It is important to know the percentage increase of the general population of Nigeria, the eligible voters, the unemployed, underemployed people, the elders, etc. Humans are the greatest assets of a nation. Planning the economy based on estimated population shows unseriousness. If the population is growing and at a fast pace, as most analysts are projecting, what can you as the president do? Nothing. It's too sensitive to touch, but at least speak up. Be proactive. You know, I actually like that tweet about, census and the planning, because this is one of the issues that we have in Nigeria. Yes. We do not have that database, the census database. And this is the sort of conversation we should begin to have, even, towards the lead up to the election. We're talking about, how many voters are there? What is the actual population of Nigeria? But also the question about how do you plan for an economy? We've seen the economics, or even this administration talking about this $1 trillion economy as well. Your thoughts? So, how do we get
on that? Yes. Let me just say that I think it's important for us to hear views like this so that we can really understand the thought process, the ideology of this administration. Unfortunately, the president has not presented himself for a proper interview where we can interrogate certain things. Even before he became president, he did not submit himself for a debate to help to analyze, interrogate some of the ideas that he had for Nigeria. Even when he went to Chatham House, he wasn't able to articulate what he had planned for Nigerians. Instead, he relied on teamship, calling on members of his team to respond to questions that were on the minds of many Nigerians. So to be fair, Nigerians don't actually have a clear idea of the plans and directions of the president based on his views. But when he comes out to speak like this, then we have an idea. And what was going through my mind when he was speaking about, hunger has been there before he was born and doesn't have a control of population numbers, I thought, wow, this is it. We are in a critical situation. If the president can speak like this concerning the country, it reminds me of what one of his spokespersons said, Daniel Bwala, when he was saying that, the poor people will always be around, and that's why the church has poor people, making a justification for the levels of poverty. And when you hear justifications and excuses like this from leadership, then it means that there is no plan or there is no thought as to how to get to understanding the issues and how to get Nigerians out of this terrible situation we find ourselves. Talking about numbers, I don't know how any government is able to plan without data. And so what we have is estimations and vibes. How it's feeling is almost up, like how you go and check, let me see the forecast. You have no critical data to analyze and dimension the real issues. How can you talk about population control if you do not even understand the population, the rate of growth of population in Nigeria? You cannot give us that. The last administration, which the president said he inherited, had planned, had started conversations around a population census. They said we're not going to do it. They're going to leave it for the next administration to do. Since the last 3.5 years that President Tinubu has come into office, there's been no talks around population census. So we are still effectively planning in the dark. What happens with that is that it does not inspire confidence that we know where we are going as a nation, whether economically, whether planning for the most vulnerable, whether planning for poor people, whether the plans to make lives better for the poor. And that is a worrying situation. What I would suggest as I close is this. The president needs to give us numbers, data on how these policy reforms is talked about, especially the unification of the exchange rate, and just final point, unification of exchange rate and the removal of fuel subsidy. To what extent these savings has contributed to more money in the pockets of the ordinary Nigerian? Actual data. Number two, jobs that have been created. What are the numbers of jobs that have been created? Not just estimations, not just vibes, but how many jobs have been created by this administration? Right. Just simple things like that, and not give excuses that any leader should not be making to his people.
And say data might be oil. All this Elon Musk, the richest people in the world now data they go for. Because if you can hold on to data, you are in money. You can decide, you can project. But this government, now they talk say, now statistics we go chop. Don't forget, now statistics we go chop.
That one, I think now statistics we go chop.
Why? In this country, they should have made the law say, before you can become the president of this country, there are some academic requirements. What you supposed to get for mathematics, what you supposed to get for economy. Otherwise, now low dollar price, now we're going to celebrate for this country. Even me are tweeted, in summary, that is to this video, in summary, Mr. Tinubu submits that now trial and error he dey do. He actually agrees saying he no like statistics before the election. For me, data is oil, but he don't like data. Education no be scam. See, education no be say I go school. I guess politics, all is fair. Listen now.
The position of Mr. President came very clearly in that statement that he made. In politics, all is fair. Is that true? If that is what politics is, that in politics everything can be done, provided you win election.
Well, clearly that's not correct.
That is not
correct. If that is what was said, then it is certainly not correct.
That is not.
When we heard it, there is propriety in everything, and
and that is what we are worried about. We are worried about the fact that we see clearly that our government is bent on winning by all means.
As a Nigeria, do you really think that in politics all is fair? It's really so? And also, what do you think? Will this Tinubu regime change Nigeria's situation? Will this APC change Nigeria's situation for good? As a Nigeria, what do you think? Please do not forget to share, like, and comment. Please do not forget to come back and watch again. Thanks.